We don't pick the ballroom, we just dance.
What is going on, my people? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your boy Nassim the Dream. I hope you all been having a great holiday season. I have been so far. I've been really busy as well. And since we are finally towards the end of the year, it is that time, my most anticipated point of the year for the channel. It is time for the NTD Awards. It is indeed that time of the year, ladies and gentlemen, when it is time to crown some of the victors of some of the most acclaimed and top best in music of 2024. And we are gonna kick off strong with easily my most anticipated video to make for the entire year, as it is one that I always hope to give me a lot of options to pick, and yes, it is the top 5 sets of 2024. As much as I do really enjoy to make these lists, I have to admit they also do come at a price, as they are very difficult to pick out. And especially if we're talking about this list in particular, this is easily my busiest year for visiting fests and going to different show dates. If my calculations do not deceive, I have visited 8 different festivals this year, 21 different show dates, with nearly 100 different artists that I have actually got to visit and see perform. I really hope that number continues to grow, as I love this. It's addicting to me. It's my passion. Here it is, the top 5, starting with the number 5 spot. Number 5. This show took place in March 19th, and I had a lot of hopes to make this tour ever since it was announced, especially when the first announcement for Sour, when she had a couple shows at the Aragon Ballroom, Chicago, was pretty much impossible, as I did wait in line to get those tickets, and they sold out in seconds, literally in seconds. However, luck was on my side, and I had the opportunity to witness this new young giant of a pop artist on the first night of 2 in Chicago. There's a lot of obvious statements I can really make about Miss Olivia Rodrigo. She is just such an incredible singer, a precise singer, an amazing dancer, an amazing performer, and of course, a personal anticipation for me due to crowning of Sour as my #1 record of 2021, most specifically the first #1 record I gave on this channel and the first album I reviewed on this channel. I had a lot of excitement, a lot of joy building up, and a lot of it really did pay off, as there was just so much to express of how much I really did enjoy this show. I mean, if we're really going to start off with just the production value, it really did come off well to represent that imagery and that tone that Olivia Rodrigo likes to capture so much with her pop music and her punk style as well. I really did enjoy the setlist management, the build-ups that we get to certain tracks, and a lot of different choreography that went differently, and with all the background dancers just going around with it, and what they did to design with their costume designs and everything. And just overall was just super impressive. What was really interesting though, that really left an impression on me, is during one of the segments where we get a couple songs played in this moon dream sequence with people having their cell phone lights on, showing in the stars in the background, as you can see. And as she rides this crescent moon all around the showroom, it's not often where I get to see a big pop artist like that, as I feel like the dedication and the production value is a lot more upfront and a lot more thought out compared to a festival where there's not too much they can really do necessarily most of the time because it's outdoor. For me to be such a big fan of Olivia Rodrigo, it was so well worth the money, so well worth the wait, so well worth the stress to actually get the tickets. So I'm very, very grateful that I got to see this, and I do think it is very deserving of my number 5. And it's also going to stick with me about these screaming children that I was surrounded by. But that was a given. Number 4. Come on, guys. What can I say about the rapid sensation that is Fred again? Not only is Fred an acclaimed artist, granted numerous nominations and awards at this point in his career, but most importantly, a figure in dance music that was permanently stricken in the genre of house into a refreshing stage that gained this cult following. Yes, I would consider that much of a dedication of a following in his audience at this point, following some of the biggest icons in comparison, like Skrillex, and then we have some like from Tiesto, I would even say, David Guetta, Armin van Buuren. As I do find Fred to be one of the most profound producers in electronic music today. What made this set in particular so marvelous to me is, of course, yes, it was at the most wondrous EDM festival in the entire world, in my most humble opinion, EDC Las Vegas. Even better, this was a surprise guest set. I was a little shocked when the lineup came out to not see Fred due to the spontaneous year he was having. Waiting for this guest list to see who would be here, no matter who it was, I was kind of pretty excited to see who it might have been. When Fred came up with that little sunrise foreshadowing, my whole world lit up with his amazing talent, and to put together such an amazing set list and to just absolutely dominate on that floor at the world's best EDM festival. Like, you can't top that. It was such an electrifying idea, start to finish, which is so incredible. The visual from the videos really just don't seem so pleasing, especially because the ocean of totems are kind of surrounding in front of the screen. But in an odd way, that was something that made it so special to me. I remember watching YouTube videos before even getting the chance to go to EDM festivals like this, just being mesmerized by all the different cultural flags from different countries and just the ideas and the art pieces that people made. It was so special to me seeing that, and then now being able to see that in person was just so life-changing. And to see that for Fred, it's just gonna be more crazy to see him grow, and it's gonna make me and the audience so happy, as I really do think this man is doing such great things, and he put it all down. I love the way when he played the piano and just the way he mixed his song quality with everything that was going on with that stage. And yeah, it was a beautiful set. No questions asked. It deserves a spot. Number 3. The man himself, Novo Amor, came to Chicago September 24th at the House of Blues, and this was also such an important show for me to make, and one that I wanted to come to ever since 2019. A man that I had found to have this beautiful melancholic softness to his music that is something that I just needed so much at that time, and there was no doubt the majority of that audience really wanted, really knew and loved, which of course he did play his new material, and I really did enjoy it, and that's something that I essentially did want from this show, but it was beyond what I expected. It was really just hard for me to believe that performance-wise it would be so identical to what we hear from the studio versions of his music, because he really has this high-pitched style of vocalization. So I wasn't sure if we were gonna get the full-blown similarity to the original music pieces, and it was nearly identical. I was shivering. I gravitated so quickly to this set, as it also did present some beautiful light production. I mean, it went so hand in hand with what he was really going for in his style of music. It was so mesmerizing with this ethereal atmosphere, which went just so beautifully with the song choices that he made, and as well as I really did enjoy some of the light touches and changes that he made with some of the songs in this set. Like, I loved, like, it could be ranging from song to song, whether it might be like, you know, moving a half step up in pitch, or even adding like these patch sequence transitions in here. This was just something that I feel like was just so needed to witness live. There's times where I feel like artists just go a little bit too overboard when trying to make a show so different, where they make their sound too vastly different, and I'm just so glad that he's starting to find this comfort to perform live more often, because he is just such a breathtaking singer. Like, the band did so well all together, which is so cohesive. You know, there was times where he's kind of doing like this like weird Q&A thing with the audience, which at moments were funny, but I just felt like I don't really need that next time. But altogether, to see a show like this at the House of Blues, which is not too big of a venue, it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. I don't think there's any other place that I would have rather seen Novo Amor play. And the best part, no warm-up. I think that was one of the first shows ever that I've been to where there's no opener. It was just Novo Amor in the band. Spectacular.
Number 2.
Okay, I really hope I don't have to come on here and explain why Hozier is so perfect. I don't, right? I would hope that prolific listeners continue to share the word of how amazing Hozier proves himself to be when releasing new projects with remarkable themes and motifs and ambition just to become such a better writer and singer. With now 3 records out, with over a 10-year career span, I was especially excited because this is the kind of size of a discog to have on a closing night at a festival that I feel like is just such the perfect balance. This really gave me the opportunity to have the best of both worlds with each of these records that I felt like have some of their strongest qualities. My personal favorite, and I think a lot of people's personal favorite, is the self-titled that came back in 2014. But there's so many different good parts and sections into each of these records that I felt like could have all accumulated into a wonderful kick-ass show. We got that and more. There was even some callbacks to certain tracks and performances that I was just shocked. I couldn't even believe it. I was hearing again, like with Cherry Wine Acoustic. I teared up. I was sobbing through this. I had a totally like solo moment, one-on-one, and I especially loved and admired that a lot of the audience was just silent during that. It was really just him and the acoustic guitar with that. So at a night like that, you'd think it could be rough because not a lot of people, it's just a lot of noise and it could just be kind of disturbing. I think a lot of people were really in that moment too. I could tell, because I really was just, I feel like it was just us and him performing in his guitar with his just very soft and endearing vocals. I'm sure everybody was resonating with that moment, as did I, and it was just so superb. And this is also an artist that I've been loving for years, ever since his debut in 2014. And, you know, compared to everything so far, production value isn't really flashy. Like, you know, so it kind of wouldn't really make sense to some people compared to everything else that I brought up about what they really brought up with the designs into the production. I would just say what's really putting him over the top, that's why he's at this spot, is the raw power in his voice and just the combinations of really when he wants to bring the momentum back into the set, and the audience was just so giving into it. They were throwing everything they had into this first closing night of the festival. That was also why it hit me so hard in the feels. Before I get to the number one, here are some honorable mentions.
Son, cause he's a phantom, a mystery, and that leaves me.
Deberías estar aquí donde te quiero, pero al contrario estás allá donde te extraño. Quisiera
Babe, God, what have you done? You're a pink pony girl, and you dance at the club, oh mama. I'm just having fun on the stage in my...
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the number one set of 2024.
Number one.
I really could be on here giving a 20-minute and so on explanation of why I feel like this deserves number one. But it's almost rhetorical, as this was one of 3 records that I got to put out for review on day one of kickstarting my channel. And it was just such for good reason. I mean, this was the stepping stone for me to really entering the major doorway to exploring country music, something I was never really against. I was just so unfamiliar about. And then because of that, adoring Starting Over, which is still to this day and probably forever gonna be my favorite country record of all time. Now finally get to see him play, especially when seeing him in Austin, Texas at Austin City Limits, which was a first time year for me. The first closing night, get to see Chris Stapleton. I mean, that's just textbook Dream Festival moment for me. It was so easy to tell that Chris wanted to deliver and give the audience what they paid for. I mean, the man said out loud on the microphone, I'm not really gonna talk that much. I just want to give y'all as much as me as possible, and we're just gonna keep playing. Go back and back and back and just play music. And he did that. Did not bullshit. That was the only time that man spoke. How could you not admire that? You know, so many artists will go about and just chirp for half their sets about nonsense. This man came here and he stood on business. He's like, I came here to play a kick-ass show. And that is what I got. Without a doubt, one of the most memorable first night experiences at a new festival for me. I was pulling with my friends that I've been nearly going to festivals for almost 10 years. Seeing so many shows beyond before that since I was 16 years old. I am 28 now. I've had a decent amount of experience. I've tried as best as I could to see as many shows as I have, and I've seen plenty. An incredible first night experience for Austin City Limits, and the biggest contributor easily goes to Chris Stapleton. I'm not gonna say he did it by his own. You know, the city had a lot to offer to it. There's other artists that night that had a lot to offer to it. But if Chris Stapleton wasn't the one that was closing out that night, in all honesty, I'm not too confident that if I would have even went. I mean, you know, I probably would have went just because it's a brand new festival and I had opportunities to go with friends, but I was nowhere near as ambitious as I did until I seen his name. I immediately told my friend, I am game. I am so game. You let me know whenever you want to buy tickets, whenever you want to buy plane tickets, I am there. Because I needed to see Chris. What they were going to present to, what new music that they were going to have, what they were going to perform, every set list, this still would have been my most anticipated show of the entire year. This, some kind of legend. And I feel like I don't hear too many people recognize Chris like that. At least, you know, of course with the fans, yes I do. But I feel like with the general audience in the country, I don't feel like it's not really resonant with that notion so much. Maybe I'm wrong. So I would like to see if you guys agree with that. But in performance-wise, like he was everything that I expected and more. And, you know, everything got flushed out of me at that point. All the emotions, all of that excitement, all that weight just dropped and drained. And I was just, remember just sitting down talking to my friends about it. I was like, yeah, this is going to be with me forever. Forever. It's going to be one of the first things that I talk about when I am old and baggy and can't move. So yeah, there's not much more I could say about this show. I mean, Chris Stapleton destroyed, gave me one of the most glorifying moments of my entire life for music, and I'm grateful. It was amazing. That was my top 5 sets of 2024. And man, oh man, was it, like I said, it was really hard to choose. And I seen so many good shows this year. And I am so grateful to the people that were willing to come with me and to travel with me. So if you're one of those people, thank you so much. As, of course, this is like an ambition for me that I'm always willing to travel on my own to make sure that I don't miss out on important opportunities. As there's plenty of these shows that I did see by myself. But I'm really happy that I didn't have to go to all of it alone. And even if I did, I'm so happy that the people surrounding me were like so kind and, you know, thoughtful. And, you know, it was just awesome to just share that passion with people, as it always is every single year, every single show. I really hope that I get to double that number of fests and shows I get to visit for the next year and the next year and the next year, as I really do want this so badly. I really want this to be part of my life forever. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what was some of your best visits at sets for a live show in 2024. Did you get to visit any of these same shows, tours, or festivals? Please let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to help the channel grow, as it means the absolute world to me. I put everything that I have into this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Deuces.